Hello and welcome to 4-Minute Art Attack number three. So I've only got 4 minutes, I'm going to crack on. We've moved away from St. Paul's Cathedral in London, we've come north and we find ourselves in Edinburgh. And this is the picture I want to share with you. It's entitled Presence, and it hangs in the Scottish Episcopal Church's Cathedral of St. Mary the Virgin in Edinburgh. And when I was a student at Theological College, just along the road from the cathedral here, we would often go into the cathedral for worship and all sorts of things. And my gaze and my interest was always taken by this picture because it speaks very much to me about the theology of where Christ is, and also the way that I've always thought about my theology as well. So there we are, the presence. It's a very grainy picture. It was painted in about 1910. There is an enhanced one available on the internet. This is it. I think it detracts from it. I get it. You get to see some of it a bit better, but I don't like it. So let's go back to the original. Here we are again. You see all the holy stuff, all the magic happening up at the high altar. It's where all the light is. And yet we have this woman who's, we presume it's a woman because dressed in a dress, a skirt, heels, whatever else. And there she is, desperately looking for some form of consolation. Maybe the worship is new to her. Maybe she feels uncomfortable, unworthy. But it's there at the back of the cathedral that we have the vision of Christ. He is the presence to the woman who really needs him. And he's got his hand stretched out, which I absolutely love. And that's got to do with him actually blessing or absolving, but he's just being present. He's giving comfort. I think that's absolutely fantastic. When the woman needs the touch of Christ, he's there beside her. As I said, it hangs in the cathedral in Edinburgh. St. Mary's Cathedral, for those who don't know, it's a wonderful building. It was built at the very far end, the west end of the new town in Edinburgh. And there is a picture of it surrounded by all the Georgian houses and all the rest of it. My theological college just out of sight there. And you could see also from the rooftops, you can see the Firth of Forth and the Kingdom of Fife. It was originally envisaged to have these funny little pirouette things at the top, but they decided against that, obviously. Maybe they ran out of money, or it just wasn't practical. And they built spars instead, and the two front spars are named after the two sisters, the two spinster ladies, who actually gave the money for the cathedral in the first place. So one is called Barbara and one is called Mary. Don't ask me which is which. So here we are, back to the presence. What I didn't realise until I remembered this picture and thought about it for this art attack is some of the history of it. When it was presented to the cathedral, it was then sent off to Germany, to Munich, for reproductions to be made. But then, of course, the First World War took place, and Germany obviously didn't want to return it. So they sold it to an American company, American firm, for £5,000. And then it was lost. Nobody knew what happened to it. It eventually resurfaced. Scotland wanted it back. The American firm that owned it didn't want to give it back. A special act of Congress was passed after the war, allowing it to be returned to Scotland. During the Second World War, it was not sent away again. It was preserved in the royal vaults of the Scottish Academy. And in 1944, it was presented by Captain E. Borthwick, who painted it. He and his wife were married in the cathedral for the cathedral, and it hangs there since. And it's just a fantastic picture, and it talks about the presence. In this time of social isolation, I think it says even more about the presence of Christ being with us when we need it the most, when we are isolated from one another. So I'll leave this with you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and bless you all.